Hi everyone, this is Jules. This is my little Instagram album that I made earlier this year. Now there's a lot more to this event than what's in the album, and I will do that in a bigger album later on. But I wanted to have just something quick, just a few simple photos from our family vacation back in 2013 when we all traveled down to San Diego after everybody graduated from their schools. And so we did a family trip, and so yeah, I wanted to just put a little bit of that memory into this little album. And this is by We Are Memory Keepers. What I did is wanted to show you how to use the collection called Farmer's Market by We Are Memory Keepers, and it's again from the Albums Made Easy line. And they have several collections, but I only have 3. I'm selling them in a set of 3, not individually. That way you get a better deal, and then you can mix and match if you want to. So I used the Farmer's Market collection, and there's 100 die cut and journaling cards in this one little set. Super duper cute. So there's a lot of the 4x4s and then some 2x2s that are just adorable. I also used some journaling cards that has the grid design. They're 3x4s. This is by Becky Higgins for her Project Life line, and they all just look like this. And it's just super easy to just throw one of these in a pocket and just journal on the back of it. So I got my inspiration from a couple of YouTubers. I cannot remember her name. If I can remember her, if I can find her video, I will link it down below. But I saw her wrap some ribbons and different things on the side on her album cover, and so that's what I did. And then I just added this from, I think this is a Pink Paisley. Yeah, this is from Pink Paisley, the butterfly. And I used a couple of like a Stampin' Up marker and a Copic marker, and I just colored it until it was a mustardy yellow that I wanted, and then added a button. And these are buttons from October Afternoon, and I use these throughout the album as well. I used some Studio Calico wood veneers. I used a lot of the stars, and a couple or one of these little grid little Instagram wood veneer frames. These are just so cute. I really enjoyed that. And I used tons of stamps and a few little die cuts that I wanted to use. And so the collection, and I did show it when I was posting the listing for sale for all 3 sets, but a quick rundown, because I shared this a little bit of the album as plain as it was, because I embellished it after that video. I embellished it way more than what it is in that video, but these are just a few of them. Some of the frames, and they're double-sided. They're so cute. Has that pretty gingham style. Recipe 4. Let's go to the Farmer's Market. And I actually used a few of the 4x4s and used some heart punches and die cut a couple of words, made some, oops, sorry, that's my phone, made some banners, little flags, and used them throughout my album. And here's a piece that I still have cut. So these are the 4x4s and some of the 2x2s. I also cut some of these up as well. So there's some cute little arrows and an ampersand and star and a camera, heart, and then some solid 2x2s, also double-sided. So cute. And I just kept some of the pieces because I was stamping on some of these, making little banners and stuff that I stuck inside and some of the pockets and whatnot. You'll see here in just a second. So just a quick view of that. So if you want to take a look and see how plain this album was, I will also link that video down below. So the We Are Memory Keepers albums, there's like a few colors of these. I used the one of the grid cards, the journaling cards, to make the little label, and I did some stamping with some Prima stamps. I have a few actually. I have a few Prima stamps that I used. This is what I used on the label there. Actually, this one, sorry. There's some of these. I used some Technique Tuesdays. I used a couple of these. These are so cute. So I used some of those stamps, And then I just wrote San Diego using my Becky Higgins journaling pen. So you open it, and the front just has, let me make sure you can see it. It just has, I used a few of the pockets, the 4x4 pockets, and then 2 of the 2x2 grid pockets. This is actually stuck on the outside of, like on top of the sleeve. It's not on the inside. And this is one of the stamps that I used. And I just did a little doodling on the edges. This one here is a die. Some Allie Edwards, actually. It's an Allie Edwards that says, it's 2 words, love you and fabulous, and that's the love you from it. And it has a matting for the back of it. So I just, and there's a little heart punch that I have that I used for the little heart there. And this is a, I believe it's, I think it's American, is it American Crafts? Or maybe it is Studio Calico. I have some canvas cut stars and hearts, and I used one of the hearts, did some thick gesso on the background, and added a Prima button and a brad from a Mind's Eye. It says love, and then just some twine and some of my trim. This is a crochet loop trim and some cheesecloth back there. It's from my, the laces from my listing. And also did the back side with a little bit of Prima Studio Calico butterfly and a couple Wild Orchid Crafts. I think they're Sweetheart Blooms or something like that. Some of my flat back pearls in the white that I carry in my shop in my lace listing. Cheesecloth again based at the bottom, very bottom here on top of the gesso, and a Studio Calico button. So I just did double of that, and just to add a little bit of interest. And I was inspired again by Stephanie Bryan, who did the gold album, and she has some really cute ideas on her Instagram for her, I think it's her February Project Life project for Studio Calico. And I'll link her video down below. It's so cute. I really love her little 4x4 Instagram. And again, she used the gold, and I do have one gold album available over at my shop. So so this is one of the cards, and I just glued down some of the Studio Calico stars and a My Mind's Eye little button, a chipboard button with some twine. And these are some rub-ons from, I think it's 7 Gypsies, that says adore, and then just XOXO all across the bottom there. And I just grabbed a tag and punched some holes, put some eyelets in there, and this is the standard size eyelets in the black. And I have those for sale as well as the wide. So I use some stamping here, and it says Our Vacation. I wish I wrote that because that looks like it's marker. But I did, that's a Hobby Lobby buy. And so that's the word vacation. And then our, what was that one here? So I did stamped that. And this likes to get stuck on the little ring. And then this is another stamp. I did, like I said, I did tons of stamping on here. From Little Yellow Bicycle, I used this little circle, and I left, this part is purposely open so you can add any of these little corners. And I used the word remember. And then I just kind of wrote down why we went down there, what the occasion was. And I cut that from one of the cards, says favorite things, and I added a little flat, what do you call those little guys? Those little pearls. I can't remember what they're called at the moment. It has slipped in my mind. I used some My Mind's Eye brads. There's a few gone here. I used some of these enamel dots. I used some gray, and this is one of the blues that I used. And I used some of the My Mind's Eye, some wood and chipboard buttons and banners. I've used a few of those for this project too. And there's my son and my daughter there. And I used some of the date stamps, like from Studio Calico. I've got a couple more sitting there. This is some from the Smash collection from DCWV, I think. Some Dear Lizzie and some other Studio Calico ones. This is the little heart punch I used for the little heart in the beginning, for that little heart. So I have several of these that I used for this project. And the date stamp. There's like a saying on one side and then the date on the other. So that's what I did. And I just did I think it was three different stamps. So it's like a 3rd generation stamp. So I stamped it once and then stamped it again and skipped again and stamped it so it's lighter. And then the saying on one of them said happy place. Happy place notes. And then I just wrote down a little bit of, you know, some journaling there. This is a stamp that I have from, and this one says, "A moment lasts all of a second, but the memory lives on forever." And it's from, it's this one here. I've used this one, and then I use this one here. It says, "We do not remember days, we remember moments." I think I just use those two. But that's one of them. And a couple more stars, a few stars there. And again, my son and daughter were on a boat, kind of just going down the bay. And we're just looking at, as we're pulling out, I guess, we were just looking at some of the submarine museums that were there. And I think this is one that we were on earlier that day. And then I just put 2 of the 4x4 cards together and created a little pocket. And I just did a little bit of a collage of flowers and the little metal plate that says "Explore," some of the jean buttons. And this is, I do have some of these available. My Ingrid Bohm Prima listing, I have a pack of 6. This is a petaloo flower and some Prima flowers. And again with the button from October Afternoon. Roman numerals, number 2 there. Some cheesecloth back there. And then I journaled a little bit on the card, and I just created with a punch, I did a little tab. So that worked out really nice. And I just left it plain back there, and I might put something on there later, I don't know yet. Another stamp maybe. Enamel dots, and this is one of the frames. And this says "Together," and that's from that first stamp set. Together. Another stamp here with that is a canvas camera. And these are the little Studio Calico Mistables, but I didn't want to mist it. And then on the 2x2s, this is what Stephanie Bryan did, and I really loved her idea. She actually used one of the pockets to put some just some little floaty stuff in there. You can use it like a little window box. So you can use confetti, you can use some of these little wood pieces, you can use buttons, you can use some string, some loose punch outs, whatever you want. And then she stitched it closed with her machine, her sewing machine, and I thought that was so much fun, and I wanted to do that, so I did that. Added some of the stars from my mind's eye, that little chipboard banner, and I just stamped something sweet from one of these guys. I don't even know which one it was now. And then a couple of photos. I used a Pick Monkey, and I put 4 photos on one sheet so that I can print it off as a 4x4. This is before I got my Canon selfie. And then I was able to just trim them, cut them down, and use them for these pockets. It worked perfect. And there's a picture of my husband and my daughter in the little frame there. I thought it was cute. It was just tiny enough and they fit perfectly in there. It's so adorable. And here's the other side. I just used ampersand. I used a grid journaling card to hide behind it or in between it. What did I do? Yep. Did the ampersand on top of a grid and then cut it out so that all you can see is that and. And then the red kind of just went with what we were wearing. That's me and my kids right there. And that big stamp is from Studio Calico too. It's one of these wood stamps here, and it just says "Here we are." So I stamped it, and then I punched out with my little heart punch from one of the red pieces of paper, and just kind of used that as that being the little geo marker. And then I stamped right on the photos this lovely girl and one of the Pink Paisley's chipboard mistable arrows, and just use a Copic marker, couple of markers I guess, and just colored that blue just because it went with what was going on, and you can kind of see her right through this photo. I like that idea. And stamping on top of that, I got that from Stephanie Bryan too. She does that as well as some other Studio Calico designers, and I really enjoyed that. Another from Technique Tuesday. This is an Allie Edwards stamp, says "Love This," which is this top one there. And again, my daughter and her daddy, and one of the frames. And this is just a sticker. It says "Love of My Life." SRM Press is a company that does all kinds of different stickers, and they do these kinds of stickers, and you can just cut them out and use them on your cards. They're on clear or see-through, and just black lettering, and you can just peel them off. They're really, really cool. So I just got a couple of themed ones, and I got that one. But the rub-ons were from Seven Gypsies, and I just cut them off of there, the exos right there. So anyways, that's where I got that from. Picture Perfect is from a Lawn Fawn stamp. Super duper cute. I love Lawn Fawn stamps, but they're so cutesy I don't even know how to use them. But I did the Picture Perfect right there. I did cut it apart so that there'll be two separate words, and I put one on top of another there. And then the little smiley face, which is so cute. So cute. Let me see if you guys can see that. Okay. Without all that glare. But yeah, right there. And then this is one of the boats that actually when we got there, we were just kind of wondering which one we needed to go, or which one we wanted to go on, because it was like 5 different, there's like a couple of bigger boats and small sailboats, and then the submarine, and so that was the ticket booth there. I just took a picture as we got there. And then on the boat when we were coming back, we did kind of just sail by the big statue here of the sailor kissing the nurse. I think it's after World War II or something like that. And I just stamped the word adventure on one of the cards and cut it out and just stuck it down at the top there of the photo. And just using an enamel dot there. And I just cut out a ticket. I stamped that on paper on one of the designer cards and cut it out. It's a little ticket. And because we were on a tour and we had to get tickets to get onto the airtime museums, that's just kind of what that symbolizes, I guess. And then I made this little guy here. And these are just some regular little tags, like keychain tags, identification tags, and whatnot. And so I just used a couple of, like 3 jump rings, large jump rings that I had in my little jewelry case. And then I stamped right onto it. It says me and you right here, and that's from the Technique Tuesday right here, me and you. And I just I don't know, just to create some interest for my little album here. And then another 4x4 with 2x2 pockets. Just some of the cards that I used for, I hear my dog at the door, she's kind of whining. This is a stamp set that I have and that I stamped on the grid paper. I'm going to let her in a second. This is from Delusions by Ranger. It's this one. It's better to take a risk than miss a moment of magic. So I stamped it and I cut it out so it looks like it was something that maybe I just doodled and traced around. So I just cut it out and put it on one of the little cards. And then I had some confetti little swirls and balloons, and some of these little guys. I can't remember what they're called. What are they called? It's not confetti, it's something else. Sequin. It just kind of went just perfect. My son and daughter, my husband and daughter again. And both of them, they were just walking. This is when we went to Old Town San Diego. It's a beautiful place in San Diego. Oh my gosh. So a couple more cards there. And one of the boats we went on to one of the museums. 2 of them actually. And because it was a sunny day in San Diego, I stamped Sunshine. That's from one of the Prima stamps. Sunshine, and then I used the butterfly here to just stamp along the side. And so you don't have to use a full 4x4 photo. You can cut it down and set it on the side here and still use this as, you can journal on the side of it, however you want to do, or just stamp. Explore every day, and it's a chipboard button from the My Mind's Eye pack that I have with some twine. This one again, I cut the photo down and matted it with one of the cards. Actually, it's the same card. And then I used one of the cards that has the green dots, or the white dots on the green background, and I die cut the word smile from my Sizzix. So really cute dies in that pack, by the way. One of the submarines we went on, that was a museum, and I just documented a little bit. It was kind of hard to get in and out of the little manholes, so I just documented a little bit on there. And then me and my kids, and I cut a flag out and used one of the stickers and put a door, and then used a little paper clip My husband coming out of one of the boats, and which is kind of normal for him. He was going in and out like nothing because he was in the military and served in the Navy forever. So yeah, so I used the same card that I cut out the word smile, and I used that card because I cut out the word smile out of it and I could still use it. So I just stamped another sentiment, cut out the little camera from this collection here again, and used a little heart that cut out from there, and I stuck it there. A October afternoon button with some twine, and I put this on pop dots. So it's a little thick, but it doesn't matter to me, I don't care. And then on this side it just says, I just stamped that just hanging out, and did a couple little banners behind the little sailboat Brad. And we're just looking at some of the memorabilia there, my son and my husband. And this one here says my handsome boy, or handsome boy. I just stamped that from, oh, which one did I use? This is the stamp set that I use. That says lovely girl right on my daughter's photo. And which is from my Mind's Eye pack from the Indie Chic. These both are from Indie Chic. And this one says handsome boy, and this is the one I used for that flag there. And then just a button with some twine. Oh, family memories. I did use some more of the... Where's the family? Well, there's the word memories that I used. Where I got the stamp for the ticket, there's the word family that I used for that tag. And this tag I just wrote down just a little bit of what I was feeling. There are bittersweet moments in life that we all have to go through, but this trip was a little bit of that. I'm so very proud of my two children educating themselves and moving on with their job and their lives, but it's just another reminder that they're growing up and will soon be on their own. Manny will be working soon, and Anna will be off to college. This is back then. Me, I'll just stand by both their sides and cheer them on with whistles and fireworks. It's also a reminder that I did okay as their mom. Their dad and I are so proud. So, and then I stamped a flower up at the corner there, and just some ribbon. And for memorabilia, there's this Maya Road envelope that you can use for any kind of album, your mini album that you make on your own. One of these little guys, even a 6x8 or a 12x12 album, you can stick some of these in. And then one of these from Studio Calico just says big fun. So I'll probably just set this on my table in our living room once we're settled. So this was super fun to make, and I appreciate Stephanie Bryan sharing a lot of her ideas, and the young lady that shared her video of her Instagram album and work. I think I saw her do this, and that's why I wanted to do it too, because I thought it was really cute, and it's perfect for me, and I had a lot of fun making it, and again, it's ready to display. So yeah, so again, I have the sets of the cards over on my blog, and if you want to get them for a really good price, they're in a set of 3 right now, and you can go ahead and find them over there, and I'll leave the link to some of the stuff below. Alright, you guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye everyone. Have a good one.